Well, if it isn't Remco Evenepoel, the reigning world time trial champion, king of chrono, destroyer of watts, and apparently a full-time member of the Tadej Pogačar fan club. Because after stage 6 of the 2025 Criterium de Dauphiné, Remco said something that dropped jaws, raised eyebrows, and probably gave UAE Team Emirates social media team an unprompted high five. Quote, "It was amazing what he did today. He has shown who is the best rider in the world once again." Remco Evenepoel, after the 2025 Dauphiné Stage 6. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of What Did Pog Do Now? And this week we feature a special guest, a genuinely stunned Remco Evenepoel. The stage that shook Remco. Let's set the scene. Stage 6 of the 2025 Criterium de Dauphiné. The peloton had been enjoying its usual combination of passive-aggressive tempo and casual alpine tourism until Tadej Pogačar decided that he had had enough. After Remco absolutely nuked the time trial on stage 4, grinning like a Belgian space rocket during launch, people assumed he might hold the upper hand. He had pulled on yellow, looked serene, aerodynamic, and most importantly, several minutes ahead of Tadej on the GC. But Pogačar, he just woke up, probably did a cartwheel out of bed and said, "I think I'll ride like it's 2021 again." Stage 6 featured a brutal summit finish on Col de la Machine, which ironically is what people have started calling Tadej after what happened. With 5Ks to go, UAE's team had peeled off like it was a dress rehearsal for July, and then Pogačar launched. You know the move, that alien-seated acceleration where his facial expression says, "I'm jogging," and the watt meter says, "Absolutely not." Remco, hanging tough, grimacing, Carlos Rodriguez, clinging, Vingegaard, watching from home with popcorn and ice packs. Pogačar crossed the line alone again, and then came the quote from Remco. Let's revisit it. Quote, "It was amazing what he did today. He has shown who is the best rider in the world once again." Hold on, can we just pause and appreciate that Remco said this voluntarily? There were microphones around, he knew people were recording, he said it with a straight face. This is the same guy who once said, "I ride to win," like a Bond villain with aero socks. Remco, the time trial terminator. Now let's not forget Remco had his moment too. Stage 4 of the Dauphiné was a 34Ks time trial, aka Remco's personal playground. He crushed it, 55.4 Ks an hour average. Wout van Aert looked like a struggled dad at a Grand Fondo by comparison. Tadej finished 5th, muttered something about, quote, "just keeping the legs for later," and looked suspiciously relaxed. Remco's post-TT reaction? Basically, "I told you so." Quote from Remco on stage 4. Quote, "This is the kind of effort I know I can win. Haven't reached my best shape yet, but this was a step forward." Translation: "This is my house. Everyone else, please wait at the door." So when Pogačar responded 2 days later with that mountain massacre, it's no wonder Remco looked like he just saw a ghost, and then called it amazing. That's the thing with Pogačar, just when you think you've got a grip on him, he pulls a card out of his sock and rides away smiling. The frenemy situation. This isn't the first time Remco and Tadej have squared off. And each time it's like a polite cold war with carbon bikes and protein gel. Let's take a ride down memory lane. 2021's Liège-Bastogne-Liège. Tadej beat Julian Alaphilippe in a tight sprint, while Remco, his teammate at the time, was quietly wondering if anyone on Quickstep had ever heard of team tactics. 2022 World Championships in Wollongong. Remco went full beast mode and soloed to a rainbow jersey, while Tadej finished a very anonymous 19th. That was Remco's revenge arc moment, and yes, he milked it in the past interviews. 2023 Liège again. Remco won it, but hold on, the real story was that Tadej crashed out. Remco raised his arms and took the win, but you could practically hear, he even said afterwards, quote, "Of course, I hope Tadej is okay. It's a pity we couldn't race head to head today," which is Belgian for, "This win was great, but it would have been better if I dropped him on the final climb with style points." 2024 Tour de France. Okay, this was the real head to head. Tadej versus Vingegaard versus Remco, the holy trinity of cycling egos. While Pog and Ving were doing their usual Tour de France arms race, Remco had a solid debut, but couldn't quite match the fireworks. He did snag a stage win, and held yellow for a while, but ultimately faded to 4th overall. Afterwards, he said, quote, "I learned a lot. I saw what it takes to be on their level." So respect was earned, but you can bet Remco circled every Pogačar stage on the calendar from that day forward. Remco in awe, or just confused. Now the real question, was Remco genuinely impressed by Tadej's stage 6 heroics, or was he just baffled? Because, let's be honest, Remco doesn't usually throw compliments like that. He's usually more of a facts not feelings kind of guy. This is the same man who once said about his rivals, quote, "I don't look too much at the others, I focus on my numbers." He said this at the 2022 Vuelta. So when this guy is reduced to a slack-jawed, he's the best in the world, you know something extraordinary really happened. And maybe it's hitting Remco now. Tadej isn't just good, he's terrifying. He wins when he shouldn't, he climbs like an angel, and time trials like a caffeinated metronome. He smiles through it all, like a Slovenian cycling Buddha with 7 watts per kilo. Is Remco catching on that this is just not any normal rival? This is the peloton final boss. It's like a magician being impressed that another magician made the Eiffel Tower disappear, only in this case the Eiffel Tower was the entire Dauphiné GC and Remco was standing on top of it until Tadej went full David Copperfield on it. Pogačar responds, and what did Tadej say after Remco finished the TT? Surely something respectful, right? Correct. Quote, "Remco was very strong. It was no surprise. He's one of the best time trialists in the world. I just tried to limit the damage." Notice the subtle game here. One of the best. Not the best, which in cycling trash talk terms is equivalent to a mic drop wrapped in a croissant. They've both mastered the art of polite shade. It's mutual admiration wrapped in competitive one-upmanship. Think Federer and Nadal. If Federer could drop 6 watts per kilo for 40 minutes, and Nadal secretly wanted a solo to Alpe d'Huez. There's no open hostility, just cold calculated benchmark setting. Every time one of them wins, the other one responds like a jealous scientist in a lab. Interesting, noted, must train harder, find new shoes. Thanks for watching today's video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new here, leave a like on today's video, and I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's upload.